We looked at comprehension as the ability to understand, and under that we looked at a passage of Halima, which was about going to the market, and then we answered a few questions.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I think you've given a very good summary of what we looked at. I left behind 2 exercises. One we had partially filled in and another that you were supposed to work on from home. How many of us visited a market at least via the weekend? Who visited a market? Jaylin, please mute your microphone.
Mama.
Who visited a market? You people stayed home. So how did you, okay. Quincy, Tasha, who else? Only 2 people visited. Does that mean I should give you more time to visit? Someone respond to me, please. Do you need more time?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Please put up your hand and talk to me. When we talk at a go, we won't be able to communicate. Okay. So, Bridget, did you visit the market or you want to tell me why you failed?
I did not visit the market.
So what are you suggesting for us? That we get more time?
Yes.
Do you promise you'll go to the markets, people?
Yes.
Please do not form stories. Visit that market. Find out what they do, how they do it. And we said we are all supposed to report about the hygiene in that market. Okay? So please endeavor to finish the work. I'll excuse you because it's only been 2 days since we thought we would have the next lesson on Friday, but it's no excuse. You should have gone by the weekend or over the weekend. So kindly do that next time, okay?
Yes.
We are going to look at something different today, and I am sure you've had a chance to look at it before. My first question is, you remember how we were home in lockdown? Do you remember?
Yes.
So many people's microphones are unmuted and they interrupt our lesson. Okay, so I was saying when we were at home and we could not go to school, how were you able to communicate with your friends? By a show of hands, tell me, how would you communicate with your friend whom you had taken?
Teacher Deborah, there are some hands that are up.
Teacher Ted, it looks like someone had muted everyone. Okay,
Hey, sir.
as Quincy, please unmute.
Teacher, for me during the lockdown, I used to communicate with my friends through social media like WhatsApp, Snapchat, like that.
Okay, WhatsApp and Snapchat, thank you. Renita, how would you communicate with your friends?
Teacher, I would call them on my phone.
You'd call them. Tasha, how would you communicate?
Madam, I would use Instagram to communicate to my friends.
Okay. All right. Michelle. Hannah, you'll be the last. No. I think it is Pamela's hand. Pamela, you'll be the last one. How would you communicate with friends? Unmute.
We would write letters to each other during the lockdown.
To whom did you write a letter, for example, Pamela?
I wrote a letter to my friend, Susan.
How did you send that letter?
I went to the post office. I wrote it on paper, went to the post office and sent it to her.
Okay, thank you. Should communicate by writing and should write a letter. Maybe if I'm to ask people, what exactly do you do on social media? Because someone said I would communicate through social media. Is that Quincy? Quincy, could you tell us how exactly you'd communicate through social media? I'm not getting you clearly. I don't know whether it's me.
Like if I want to ask her a question, I would go to WhatsApp. Ask her.
You are breaking. I doubt we got what you were saying. Did someone get what Quincy was saying? I failed because it was breaking all through.
Maybe she can type in the chat. Her network was not very clear.
Okay. I thought it was mine. Okay, thank you very much, Quincy, for trying. Hannah's hand is up. Okay, yes, Hannah.
For me, someone in the chat has said that sending messages, pictures, and also voice notes.
I have picked that you sent messages to teachers, but I didn't get the last bit.
No, I said send messages, pictures.
Okay.
And also
send messages, pictures, and also
voice notes.
Voice notes. Okay, thank you very much. So is that Sunny or Shani? Rashid, you will be the last one for this question. Yes, Rashid. Rashid, unmute.
I would communicate through Skype, the face-to-face interaction via the internet.
Oh, I am not getting that clearly. Saturday, are you able to get that? Did you pick that? Okay, Rashid, please type that in the chat so that we get your answer. Now,
She said she'll communicate through Skype.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Rashid. Now, you realize that whatever we are mentioning, or maybe before we continue, please go to the chat tap on the link that has been sent by Teacher Teddy and register, okay? I hope everyone knows where their chat option is. Go to the chat, tap on that link, and then register. We'll need those details to help us learn better next time or for follow-up, okay? Heather says she used to communicate through WhatsApp, TikTok, okay? Thank you. So you realize that maybe another question so that I don't preempt your answers. Another question is how someone said they would use voice notes. Another person said they would use chats. How exactly do you use WhatsApp to communicate? How exactly do you use WhatsApp to communicate? Yes, Hannah?
On WhatsApp, there is the option for sending a message and a chat a particular person or a group. And then there's also the option of sending voice notes. So in my opinion, I think on WhatsApp you communicate with others through sending messages, through sending like typed messages and also sending voice messages.
Very good. You have brought out what I wanted to hear. Typed messages, okay? Thank you. Maria, please.
Teacher, on WhatsApp, you can also video call.
I am not getting you, dear. Maria, I don't know whether it's my network, but I've failed to get you. I didn't get the answer. Please type in the chat. Okay. So someone has said you type out a message. So the intention, yes, Rashid? Rashid? Put up your hand if you can hear me. Okay, so Rashid, it is you who is not speaking. Rashid? Okay, I'm going to be forced to move on. We'll hear from you later when your network is more stable. So people have said they write out a message. And there is another person who particularly said they wrote a letter to a friend. Now, before social media, even during the social media time, you realize that there is a more formal way of communicating with people, and that is through a letter. If I'm to engage you, I have one question. What do you think are the advantages of writing a letter over writing WhatsApp or over social media? Who can think of any advantages of writing a letter? Yes, Joshua?
Writing letters is that information can be stored for a long time, while WhatsApp, they can steal your phone, get us in the WhatsApp, and some people don't remember to back up their messages. So information can be kept very well when you're using a letter.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Yes, Nakanyike, Daniel. Please unmute.
Writing a letter is cheaper than typing on WhatsApp.
Okay, how cheap? How is it cheaper? Nakanyike, you have disappeared.
No, when you're writing a letter, you need a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper. Then you buy an envelope, which is not more than 5,000 shillings, and a stamp. But when you're typing on WhatsApp, data itself is expensive and you also need a phone.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. That is brilliant. Okay, someone's hand was up, but I think it has disappeared. So that brings us to what we want to look at this afternoon, and that is letter writing. And I believe we have looked at letter writing from somewhere, be it primary, be it from our friends, be it at home, our parents having letters. Even on social media, I'm sure we have seen letters, even on WhatsApp, where someone at the end of the day shows that this is a letter to probably this group of people, or this is a letter that I am writing because of this condition. So we have come across letters here and there. My question is, how many types of letters do you know of? How many types of letters do you know of? Jaylin? And
2 types of letters.
which one and which one? Pardon?
2 types, formal letters and informal letter.
Okay, the formal and the informal. Thank you very much. There is someone who hasn't yet spoken. Navide Angela. Angela, unmute.
They have already said my answers.
Okay, which are those 2 types of letters that people are talking about? Dorcas? Yes, unmute.
Application letters.
Application letters. Okay. We'll later on see whether application letters are a category of their own. Is that Kyra? Kyra, you've disappeared. Hilda? Hilda? Hilda, please unmute.
I know 2 types of letters, the friendly letters and the formal letters.
the friendly letters and the formal letters. Thank you very much, Hilda. Okay. We are getting closer to the answers. There is someone called Giovanna. Yes, Giovanna, unmute. What do you know about those two types of letters? Pardon?
Letters and informal letters.
Yes,
Formal
letters.
Formal letters official. I used to write.
I am losing you.
Formal letters are for official people and applications, and informal letters are for friends and family.
Okay. For official people, that one I've not understood, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of the answer. Natasha, do you want to add on? Natasha, unmute.
Unmuted.
The first one, when they say to name the equations, since they give us the two simultaneous equations, you first label maybe the
Someone is lost. Okay, Precious. Precious, what do you know about formal letters and informal letters? Oh, Precious is not unmuting. She has disappeared. Poya? Mpoya?
Formal letters are the business letters, and the informal letters are the friendly letters that you send them to your friend or relative. Yet the business letters, you send them to the office or to an official.
Okay, thank you. Business letters. Okay, I'm learning new things here. You can mute. Okay, thank you, sweet Nisha. Makai, would like to listen to your response. Unmute.
A formal letter has two addresses, while an informal letter has one address.
Okay, thank you. That is a difference that she's giving. Who hasn't spoken? There is a person with Techno L5. Please tell us your name and respond. Unmute. We are not getting you. Is it me alone? Who's not getting you?
Actually, there's no one speaking.
Okay, can we get someone else who hasn't spoken? And this will be the last person. Yes, Hannah, please be the last one. What do you know about formal letters and informal letters?
Teacher, I know that informal letters are letters that we write to our friends. These letters do not have a I don't know, is it a reference or something? And then they do not, they only have, they have one address because that is the writer's address. And when we are ending the letter, we do not use some words like, when ending a letter, we can end it in a casual way. Whereas formal letters, these ones have a reference. We have two addresses, the writer's address and the receiver's address. They are written in a specific format when writing them down. And then when ending this letter, we do not end it just casually, but we end it with certain words like faithfully and sincerely, and in accordance with the beginning part of dear. If we have said maybe perhaps if it's dear madam with no the names of that person, I think only then when the names are there we say faithful.
Okay, thank you very much. That is quite detailed. People's hands are still up, but I'm afraid we have to move on to the next question. Have you ever written a letter? Who has ever written a letter to someone? Who has ever written a letter to someone? And please put up your hand when you're ready to tell us about what that letter was about. Whom was Agatha? Whom did you write to and what was the letter about?
It was a letter to my friend inviting her for my birthday party.
All right, so you invited your friend. Where didn't you invite us to? Agatha.
I never knew you at that time.
Okay, so next time you invite us all?
God willing, I will.
Okay, thank you very much. So she wrote, and it was an invitation to a friend, okay? Please note that. There is someone who is called, I don't know whether that Roman numeral exists. Is it 8 or 9? Someone with a V. Please unmute. It would be better for you to rename yourself so that we don't fidget about when it comes to calling out your name. Not responding? Unmute, please. If that person is not responding, can we hear from Heina Nams? Heina Nams. Unmute. Heina has disappeared. Okay, Tasha?
I wrote a letter to the head teacher of a certain school, telling them about how I've progressed in my new school, my former school. How I've progressed in my new school.
Okay, how do you know that head teacher? As your teacher?
No,
Yes.
like a close family friend.
But she's also a family friend.
But it's a head teacher.
Okay, that is good. Thank you very much for the response. Tasha, you're the last. Okay, I have seen someone who hasn't spoken. That is Jonan. He'll be the last one. Tasha, then Jonan. Tasha, please respond.
Yes, Madam, I wrote a letter to my friend. I don't know if Madam is listening. Madam, I wrote a letter to my friend.
Okay, yes, thank you, Tasha. I had your answer.
Yes, Madam.
Now it's Jonan. But Jonan is not responding. Jonan, could you please unmute?
I wrote a letter to my friend him for a football match at our school.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was sampling whether people have written a letter before or have actually received a letter. or know about a letter. And we just confirmed that there are two types of letters. Informal letters, which another person called friendly letters, and then the formal letter. Now, we are going to concentrate on the informal letter, which I believe you have looked at before, because I'm hearing people saying that they have written to a friend, they have written to a friend, they have written to a close family friend. So when we write letters to people that we know or we are familiar with, we call those letters friendly letters because, you know, we are writing those letters and writing to people we know, okay? So we are not too formal. We do not have to start by introducing ourselves because these are people we know. In the formal letters, someone tried to distinguish earlier on, we would need to be formal. When you're writing to a person in higher office, someone called them business letters, but we may not call them that exactly. What we know is they are official letters. So you do not play about when you're writing such a letter because you are writing to a person in bigger office or who is more important or a person who is in higher rank or office as opposed to you. For example, if you're writing asking for a job, would you say, hi, I need that job, thank you? No one would give that job to you because anyway, you sound disrespectful, okay? So when you are writing to a person who is in such an office, you need to be formal. We'll look at the formal letters when it's time for those letters. So for today, we are going to mainly look at the informal letter, okay? And we'll be using those slides that Teddy is showing at the moment. So we have already answered the questions, whether we've ever written a letter, to whom, what the letter was about, and probably you need to pay attention to the definition that we have there. Not to say that it is the only definition, but it should guide us whenever we are writing. A letter is written communication from one person to another. Written communication, or it is written or printed message on a piece of paper. That is why I have said on social media times, you see people's letters trending. That is if I am using the right word. The words that you like, a letter trending. So a person may take a picture of that written piece of work and it will make rounds on social media. So that is what we are taking to be a letter, a written communication from one person to another, or written or printed message on a piece of paper, okay? So we are going on to look at informal letter. Can we get someone to read for us? This person is going to be actually, we'll get people to read for us. Martha Kagoya, would you read what informal letters are? Please unmute. Martha, did you mute yourself again? Okay, Pamela, please read. I'm not getting Martha.
Informal letter. Informal letters are also known as personal letters. These are written to people we are familiar with, like friends, parents.
Okay, thank you. Could you
You're
pause?
welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. So they're written to people that we know, that we are familiar with, people that are friends, parents, or relatives. So you really cannot be too formal because you know these people. Someone had answered, that is, I think, Heather. Formal letter written in a formal and ceremonious language, okay? Then there is Patricia who is asking, what are we talking about? Patricia, we are looking at letter writing. Just follow closely and pay attention. An informal letter is a letter written for personal use, or on the other hand, it is a personal letter. Okay. Formal letters have reference, while informal letters don't have a reference. The spelling of reference, though, you should check it out. Okay, thank you. So people we are familiar with, that is where we are. And we are saying that those differences that we've been talking about are the parts of a letter. So an informal letter also has parts that make it an informal letter. Who is going to read for us A? Maclean, read for us A.
Parts of an informal letter. A. The writer's address, top right hand corner of the page, normally written in an indented form.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll have to use an example to see which one is the top right hand corner. So let's be patient. Those of us who don't know which one is the right and which one is the left, we'll have a look at the sample to know. But one of the parts is the address, and we have said that address is on the top right hand corner of the page. Okay, who is reading for us? B. Faith Angel. Faith, we are not getting you. Vicky.
The date written below the writer's address and in full. For example, 24th June 2021.
Okay, thank you. The date is below the address. So the second part is that of the date. Who knows why we write a date on a letter? Why do we write a date on a letter? Someone's microphone is making noise. Mariam? Mariam, you've muted before responding. Emily? Emily, please unmute. Have not got that. Becky, why do we date our letters?
So when the letter was written.
Pardon? Becky, we've lost you.
Show when the letter was written.
To show when the letter was written. Thank you very much. Okay, someone to read for us. See? Mpoya. Mpoya, unmute.
I'm casting special.
The solution is written close to the left margin. For example, dear John.
Mpoya, that word is not solution. What is it? Mpoya, you haven't read that word correctly. The salutation, okay? Not solution. And what is a salutation, people? Who can tell us what salutation is about? Anfield? Anfield, could you unmute?
Madam, I had raised to read, not to answer the question about the salutation.
Hey, so you're going to hold on. Who knows what salutation is about? Hannah, eh?
A salutation is a greeting.
Very good, thank you. So in case you didn't know what a salutation is or what we mean by salutation, it is a greeting. And in a letter, by just saying dear so and so, we regard that as a greeting. Even before you say hi, how are you? The moment you say dear, that is already a greeting, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, who is reading for us? D wasn't read or said anything. Jojo?
Teacher, I'm sorry to disrupt you, but someone in the chat is saying that if you could
Yes.
a little louder.
You're not getting me.
There is someone in the chat who has said if you could be a little louder. They're not getting you.
Okay. Oh dear. And are you getting me clearly, Hannah?
Yes, teacher, for me, I can hear you very well. I just don't know if it's their network.
Okay, they should also try to work on their gadget. They can probably increase the volume. Anyone else who is not getting me? Unfortunately, there are many hands up, so I may not get a clear answer at the moment. I am going to do my
Deborah, you're clear. You're clear. I think people just need to work on their gadgets.
Okay. So someone, Peace, please read for us the next one.
The body is composed of several paragraphs, with the first one including the reason for writing, and the following paragraphs indicate the main point of the letter.
Okay, thank you very much. So you write your letter in a paragraphed manner, whereby those paragraphs are what we call the body, okay? So don't think of the body that you own as a person, but even your letter has a body. And that body are those things that you write about in paragraphs. So we say that the body is composed of several paragraphs. That means it may not be one. So in case you write only one paragraph, it means it may only contain your greeting. So the several paragraphs are what give the details in that letter. And we've said that the following paragraphs indicate the main point of the letter, the reason as to why you are writing this letter to the person that you're writing to, be it an invitation or just a greeting because you're missing this person. You have to write your work in paragraphs. Okay, can we go to the next one? Tasha Ann, you read for us the next one.
Yes, madam.
Could you please read the last one?
The conclusion. We conclude by signing off at the bottom right-hand side of the letter just below the body.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. So after concluding, we usually sign. Now, some people think that signing is scribbling something down. Signing off is telling people who you are, okay? So that is what we call signing off. And we've said it is at the bottom right-hand side of the letter, just below the body. We've said the body is the message that you're sending to the person. And the language used is clear. So by clear, we mean you have to write something that is understandable. Some of you are too used to slang that you would write and people get lost. That is not understandable language. It should be a language that the person you're addressing the letter to is able to understand, okay? So we are going to have a look at this sample letter. And someone is going to read for us. I'm going to get 3 people to read for us and we'll choose who has read better, okay? So let me see who hasn't read. Becky, could you read first?
Gayasa High School, P.O. Box 7029, Kampala, 24th April 2022. Dear Dawn, how I missed you being with you during the holidays this year. Everything in my new school is different from that was in my primary school. I don't know if I will ever get used to living here. I'm so glad that O-level does not last for many years like primary. After my S4, I will have to get an A-level school in my home area. I've already made some very nice friends, but don't worry. No one could ever replace you as my best friend. After school, I sometimes go to my friend Fiona's house. We both enjoy the same type of music and movies that you and I like. In fact, Fiona and I have tickets to go to a Frigo band next month. I wish you were coming with us. Life is very different here. Would you believe that we have to wear a uniform even over the weekends? It's a blue skirt and a blazer, a ridiculous checked tie, not to mention a pair of horrible long white stockings. It's awful. Besides, there is nothing to do in the evening since the school has no co-curriculum activities. That is all for now. I must start on my homework for English class tomorrow. The teacher wants us to write about how we spend the holidays. Please write soon and tell me all the news. I miss you. Lots of love, Nancy.
Okay, thank you. Elizabeth, could you please read for us? Remember, this is a letter to a friend. Is that how you talk to a friend? That is what we are looking for. Yes, Elizabeth? If Elizabeth is not responding, okay, can see your microphone open, but we are not getting you. Zanita, haven't said anything.
Tayaza High School, P.O. Box 7029, Kampala, 24th April 2022. Dear Dawn, oh, how I missed being with you during the holidays this year. Everything in my new school is different from what was in my primary school. I don't know if I'll ever get used to living here. I'm so glad that O-level doesn't last for many years like primary. After my senior 4, I will have to get an A-level school in my home area. I've already made some very nice friends, but don't worry, no one could ever replace you as my best friend. After school, I sometimes go to my friend Fiona's house. We both enjoy the same type of music and movies that you and I like. In fact, Fiona and I have tickets to go a Frigo bar next month. I wish you were coming with us. Life is very different here. Would you believe that we have to wear a uniform even over the weekends? It's a blue skirt and blazer, a ridiculous check tie, not to mention a pair of horrible long white socks. It's awful. Besides, there is nothing to do in the evening since the school has no co-curricular activities. That is all for now. I must start on my homework for English class tomorrow. The teacher wants us to write about how we spent the holidays. Please write soon and tell me all the news. I miss you. Lots of love, Nancy.
Okay, thank you very much. Zanita, thank you. The last one is Emmanuel Sempala.
Gaza High School, P.O. Box 7029, Kampala, 24th April 2022. Dear Dawn, oh, how I missed being with you during the holidays this year. Everything in my new school is different from what was in my primary school. I don't know if I'll ever get used to living here. I'm so glad that O-level doesn't last for many years like primary. After my senior 4, I will have to get an A-level school in my home area. I've already made some very nice friends, but don't worry. No one could ever replace you as my best friend. After school, I sometimes go to my friend Fiona's house. We both enjoy the same type of music and movies that you and I like. In fact, Fiona and I have tickets to go to a Frigo band next month. I wish you are coming with us. Life is very different here. Would you believe that we have to wear a uniform even over the weekends? It's a blue skirt and a blazer, a ridiculous check tie, not to mention a pair of horrible long white socks. It's awful. Besides, there is nothing to do in the evening since the school has no co-curricular activities. That is all for now. I must start on my homework for English class tomorrow. The teacher wants us to write about how we spent the holidays. Please write soon and tell me all the news. I miss you. Lots of love, Nancy.
Thank you very much. So which are the parts of the letter that we looked at before? Who can mention what they have spotted as one of those parts of the letter? Precious? Precious, could you please unmute? Quincy?
Teacher, there is the writer's address, the date, the salutation, and the conclusion as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are three. What else? What else do you see? Pamela, what do you see?
I've seen the body, the salutation, the address, the dates, and then the conclusion, not forgetting the paragraphs which have separated what the writer wanted to communicate.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I had gone off a bit, but I'm back. So, having looked at what an informal letter looks like and the sample, I hope you can see that the address is on the right-hand side. And then we have also seen the sign off on the right-hand side as well. We have seen the greeting, we have seen the body that is made up of paragraphs.
Teacher Deborah, you've gone off. Okay, as Teacher Deborah comes back on, I think we have clearly seen, because our friends have pointed out, that various parts of the friendly letter. Clearly, the writer's address is on the right-hand side, and I hope you see the punctuation. You have a comma, then another comma, and then a full stop at the end. That is very important. Then Teacher Deborah also talked about the date, and the date should also be in full. And I hope you've seen where the TH is. So 24th, 23rd, the RD would be on the line, and then the comma and the full stop at the end. Then we have seen the salutation and then the body, which is clear for everyone. And then the last bit is to do with the way you conclude. So because it's a friendly letter, the way you conclude is quite informal. Lots of love, yours ever, your friend, and then you have one name because it is someone that you already know. So those are the various parts of the friendly letter. Maybe at this point, I'm not yet sure if Teacher Deborah is back, but we could have some questions as she's trying to get back.
Teacher Teddy, I'm back.
Okay, back to you, Teacher Deborah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, anyone with a question? Please ask if you have any questions. Other hands for questions, okay. Hannah, please ask.
Teacher, I don't actually have a question, but let me just ask, because in writing a letter, at when I went to school, the English teacher told us that we are not supposed to not to skip lines. And here in your letter, it somehow looks like maybe if there were lines here, perhaps you have skipped a line. Because when she created the first time, she said that in secondary, we do not, in the new way of writing letters, we don't skip lines. When we are paragraphing, we just perhaps extend space from the margin and then start from there. That's how we are supposed to paragraph.
Yes, Hannah, your teacher is very right. And if you're observant, do you see that my paragraphs start away from the margin?
Yes, teacher.
So that is what we call the indented paragraph. In our parts of speech, one of the things that, rather parts of this letter, one of the things that we talked about was that we use indented paragraphs. Indented paragraphs are those paragraphs that start away from the margin. Now, this being a computer and typed work, it at times has its spacing. So for us to have work that is neat, that is why it looks like there are lines, but it is just a spacing that is appearing that way, okay? But we do not skip lines. So your teacher was actually teaching you the right thing. You do not skip lines because this is one letter that you are writing. So there is no need for you to skip lines. Once you do that, you're making it disjointed. You're making it 2 letters or 3 letters in one, okay? So to answer your question, you do not skip lines, okay?
Thank you.
Mpoya, Nisha? Nisha, are you asking? Okay, I think Nisha forgot her hand up. Mariam M. Please lower your hand if you're not asking a question. Yes, Mariam, please go ahead. Mariam, are you asking?
Madam, what if I put the address on the left hand side?
Once you put the address on the left hand side,
yes,
it ceases to be your address. It is the other person's address. Okay? We are using the British writing version. Okay? And that is why we maintain our addresses on the right hand side. Okay?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Thank
so
you.
on the right hand side is your address. Whenever you want to write a letter addressed to another person, that letter will be, rather the address will be on the left hand side.
Okay, madam.
Okay, Giovanna. Giovanna, please unmute.
Is it okay to write the day of the week in the date?
Yes, it is very okay. For example, today Monday, and you start by saying Monday 24th. Yes, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
If that is what you think, it is very okay. It is very okay for you to start by writing Monday, 24th of April, 2022. That is also a full date. What is wrong is for you to write 24th stroke 04 stroke 2022. What is 04? It's a number, not so? So we do not write such. Teacher Teddy emphasized that we write the dates in full, okay? Please put down your hand after asking. Rashid? Shani? Rashid, could you please ask?
Madam, I want to ask this question, that in the sample letter, you gave us the notes that the body is composed of several paragraphs, with the first one including the reason for the writing, and the following paragraphs indicate the main reason for the letter. Now, what if there is such a question saying that in one paragraph, a letter advising John to go back to school. In one paragraph, the greetings, not putting the main reason.
Now, first of all, to allay your fears, Rashid, they cannot write or set a question that says, in one paragraph, write a letter, okay?
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam.
So in this first paragraph, you can clearly see that someone greeted, told this person about their life shortly, and even introduced what they wanted to talk about. But would that be a complete letter? For example, oh, how I missed being with you during the holidays this year. Everything in my new school is different from what was in my primary school. I don't know if I'll ever get used to living here. I'm so glad that O-level doesn't last for many years like primary. After my senior 4, I'll have to get an A-level school in my home area. Bye. Don't you feel like it is incomplete? So what the body does, or the other paragraphs, are to build on the message that this person is trying to convey to the reader. Okay? I hope I've answered your question. Martha, we gave you a chance, but you're not talking. This is the last chance. Please ask. Martha? We are not getting you. Unmute. Teacher Teddy, are you getting me?
Teacher Deborah, you had gone off, but now you're back.
Okay, I think Martha was the one to respond, but I didn't get the question. I don't know whether you got it.
No, actually, she did not ask, I think.
Okay.
Maybe we take another hand. She could type in the chat.
Okay. Emmanuel Sempala?
Teacher, can you use the block method of writing this friendly letter?
No, we have said that the address is indented, okay? And we slant it. So you do not.
And also the
written.
commas.
Yes, also the commas are supposed to be there because this is a statement. Gayaza High School PO Box 70 at Kampala, full stop. Do you get that it is a statement? Yes, the commas have to be there.
The ones in the date.
Yes, please. They have to be there.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm going to be faster. Yes, Quincy.
Teacher, is it right to write, correct to write the address in capital letters?
Now, in the new way of writing, we do not write the address in capital letters or block letters, okay? We only capitalize those letters that mark importance. For example, you see that G is capital, the H is capital, and S capital in Gaza High School. You see that P and O and B of the PO box are also capital. You see the K of Kampala also capitalized. That is what we do. Once you do block, okay, as per the style of writing, you may not get a mark. You don't want to have don't have an excellency mark and accuracy mark, okay? So you have to be accurate by writing the way you see this address written, okay? Quincy, lower your hand, you finish asking. Joshua?
Excuse me, teacher. Since this is a friendly letter, can't you use slangs other than the other official one, whereby you're going to ask a job and have to write good and proper English?
Unfortunately for you, Joshua, not everyone will understand the slang. Okay?
No, okay, you may be speaking that slang, like let's say before the before the holidays ended, you guys had formed up some slang which you use for speaking, maybe meaning some certain stuff.
Well, now you see already using some certain stuff which we can't understand. Now,
No.
if that language is known to your friend, that is okay. But when it comes to the examination purposes, how will the teacher know what you are saying? You get it?
Yes.
So probably in real life, if you have a language that you and your friend use, you can write that. But if you're writing and it's the teacher who is going to look at this letter that you're writing to your friend, please consider the teacher as well. You will tell them you're telling your friend, for example, your friend, and the teacher will be like, what is you? Okay? So just for making people understand, you keep the language understandable. And I think we noted that you're supposed to keep the language clear and understandable. Okay?
Okay, sure.
Michelle, Faith. Michelle, Faith. Michelle, yes? I'm not getting you. I don't know whether the rest are getting you. Anyone getting Michelle? Michelle, could you type in the chat? I am not getting a word. Okay, lastly, Mpoya, you'll be the last one. Mpoya? Are you asking? Okay, I think I am not getting Mpoya as well. Please type any questions that you have in the chat and they'll be responded to. I'm seeing Dorcas is just commenting. No questions in the chat so far, so I think we can proceed. We can proceed to discuss the question that we have in the last slide. Teacher Teddy, could we go to the last slide? Okay, thank you very much. Teacher, can't we get the other question, please? I don't know which one that is. Giovanna, could you please elaborate on the questions that you want? I'll come check. So we have a question. Write a letter to your friend telling them the questions in scenario based.
Excuse me, teacher. I have a question. Is it correct to sign in an informal letter? as at the end when I'm ending my letter. Is it okay for me to put my signature?
Come again.
Is it okay for me to put my signature in an informal letter at the end?
It is not mandatory for you to sign. If you want and you want some fun, it's okay. No one penalizes you, but it's not necessary. Okay? Because this person knows you. So for example, you're writing to your sister. At the end of the letter, you sign off. Not necessary. Okay? So what do you think this question requires you to do? What are those things that should not miss from the letter that you'll be writing? Someone's hand went up shortly and then disappeared. Okay, thank you. Renita?
I think that the writer's address should not miss from the letter you're writing to your friend, telling them about how you're benefiting from the helped classes.
Very good.
Yes.
You?
Thank you,
Toncho, Lucas?
The greeting.
Okay, you really can't start by bombarding your friend with information about help even before you say hello, okay? Vicky? Vicky, please unmute.
The salutation.
Okay, the salutation is the same as the greeting. Thank you. Infinix Smart 5. Please unmute. We can't get you. Moving on to, yes?
Yes? The that should.
Okay, thank you. You should write the date when you are writing this letter. Thank you. Mariam, M?
The body. No one.
The body. What is involved or what is entailed in the body? What should we write in that body? Giovanna?
The reason for writing the letter, the benefits from the help classes this holiday.
Okay, you may not even put it that way, but decided what you're writing, what that letter is about. Okay, thank you. Hilda?
What should not miss is the writer's address, then the date, salutation, then the book which contains the benefits of the help classes this holiday, and the conclusion.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hilda. So I think we have an idea of what we are going to do while attempting this exercise. It shouldn't be something hard. If you haven't registered yet, please register. Someone says the conclusion should not miss. Yes, you are right. You ought to have the conclusion. So I want everyone to try out that question. Please write a letter. Think about what those benefits are. I hope we know the meaning of benefits. And then you can post either in the chat or on the Padlet, okay? Now, I don't know whether we still have questions. Can we first lower our hands, those of us who have hands up, apart from if we have a question? Anyone with a question? Now, Teacher Teddy, do you have something to say? To add on to?
No, Teacher Deborah, I think we've dealt with the letter very well. Maybe I just wanted them to talk about their project work.
Okay.
Oops.
So, people, do you know about the waste management project? Someone is asking, how do we register? Teacher Teddy, do you mind posting the link again? Teacher, why is it that when I try to register, it brings things like score points? Don't you think you might be on the wrong link? Let me just try to find the link. Meanwhile, are you people doing anything about the project? Do you know about the waste management project? Are you even getting me? Oh. Anyone getting me?
Yes, teacher, we are getting you.
Wow, the silence is deafening. No one is responding to me. So I was like, am I talking to myself?
Teacher, everyone is muted and they are unable to unmute themselves.
Hannah, I think you have either muted everyone or something. There's something that has happened that is not right.
Teacher, I have not yet muted anybody. Maybe because when I check the option to mute, it says that people are unable to unmute themselves. But I haven't yet muted anyone. Maybe let me just try to do this. I think now it's better because I see Peace has unmuted herself. Yeah, I think it's okay now.
Yes, teacher, it's okay.
Okay. Someone had muted all of us. So I am going to send you to please check the WhatsApp groups that you're in and try to participate in the project work, okay? Come up with something that will show how we can manage waste in our community, okay? Now, you'd never know where this can land you or how you can earn from it, but please think of how best we can manage waste. Remember, I had given you work to describe for me how people manage waste in their in the markets. Now you haven't yet done that work. When we come next time, I am just hoping that you'll have something would have written about the same, okay? Some people's hands are up. Yes, Michelle Faith. Unfortunately, I can't unmute you. Hannah, could you unmute? Michelle?
Yes, teacher. Michelle is unmuted.
Yes, she can go ahead now. Not talking.
Yeah, but she's unmuted.
Okay, you can mute her if she's not talking. Natasha? Michelle, type in the chat if you're not able to talk. Natasha, and?
Madam, I was requesting that you pardon me the question, the project work question. Describe how people manage
waste, the waste management in your market.
Thank you, madam.
Whose hand is up? Joshua?
Yes, teacher. I wanted you to teach us how to write a summary of a story because they have given us exercises, didn't tell us write a summary of a story. They give us the story and then you write a summary.
Well, thank you. What do you understand by summary, Joshua? Before you go.
A summary is a condensed form of writing. Like you give brief information of something happened.
Okay, so if a person is asking you to write a summary, they are telling you to compress a piece of work. Compression is making something smaller, okay? There are people who are making a lot of noise. They're too loud. So they're telling you to complete work by picking out only that which is important. So you do not write everything as is, but you understand something and then make it shorter. Okay, that is what a summary is about. Now, I may not be able to show you exactly how to do it, but once you know the principle that I am supposed to make it brief, or we can say make it concise, precise and concise, because noise is disorganized in me because it is really loud. So make it precise and concise. Make sure you have picked only the important points so you don't reproduce what has been given to you. And you're supposed to comprehend as well. So after understanding what it is the person is saying, you try and make it shorter or make it brief. Remember, I was talking about comprehension and I gave you an example of a movie. You will not come and tell the person, hey, Schwarzenegger came and beat up this one. Then they run and then they meet this person and then they beat him. That is the movie I watched. So the person will tell you what the movie is about. So you'll have to tell them probably that Schwarzenegger was chasing thieves. That is the summary. So you make it brief.
Matrix method, we have many of the
Without changing the meaning. Joshua, I hope that helps you.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
Michelle says that she has just joined, I think she has just joined Hope classes today, and she has said she doesn't know anything about the WhatsApp group. She has also said she doesn't know anything about the WhatsApp group. Maybe if you could post the link in the chat. Then she has also said that she has been talking, but she's not sure why we cannot hear her.
Sorry about that. I don't think I have the